This is the 18 WJTS News. In tonight's news, a Holland man is arrested for domestic battery and criminal recklessness with a firearm. WJTS, WBDC, and WAXL received Cardinal awards from the Indiana Broadcasters Association. And an agriculture economist projects a nearly 20% drop in revenue for Indiana's corn and soybean crops. Zach Ruber talks with the Dubois County Humane Society, and Kurt Guxell looks at sports, followed by WJTS Informed. Tonight, Kyle Rupert, Executive Director of Jasper Arts, talks about how you can make art part of your life by volunteering. All this and more coming up on the 18 WJTS News. Good evening, I'm Bill Potter with the WJTS News. A Holland man is behind bars after a physical domestic dispute with a firearm. Dubois County Sheriff deputies responded to a reported physical domestic incident around 11 p.m. Saturday night when, at the scene, deputies made contact with the female plaintiff who had visible injuries and a friend who reported getting grabbed by the arms and shoved out of the house during the incident. After investigating, deputies arrested 37-year-old Matthew D. Masner. Masner is booked into the Dubois County Security Center on preliminary charges of Level 5 felony intimidation with a deadly weapon, Level 6 felony domestic battery with injury, and criminal recklessness with a firearm and misdemeanor battery. A hazardous material spill in Warwick County caused one police trooper and 3 drivers to go to an Evansville hospital Monday morning. Around 9:18, Indiana State Police responded to an incident on State Road 66 east of Epworth Road in Newburgh involving a 2019 Peterbilt tractor and trailer that had leaked an unknown substance onto 3 other vehicles. When Senior Trooper Seth Rainey arrived and noticed the material had leaked from the tractor trailer was hazardous and that the material was on the roadway and on several vehicles. Due to the material being hazardous, Ohio Township Fire Department and Warwick EMS were dispatched to the scene, and all eastbound lanes on State Road 66 between Epworth and Grimm Road were closed on Monday morning. Eventually, all lanes between Epworth and Grimm were closed while crews prepared to move the tractor trailer. The chemical involved was nitrile liquid. 3 drivers and Trooper Rainey were decontaminated at the scene by fire department personnel before being transported to St. Vincent Hospital for precautionary measures. The driver of the semi was not treated. The owner of the tractor trailer is Time Dedicated Carriers out of Rockport, Indiana. Anyone that may have had physical contact with this liquid chemical is urged to seek medical attention. Exposure is not life-threatening. If you traveled through the spill site and notice an unknown substance on your vehicle, it is encouraged that you call Joe Carroll with Kim Group in Evansville at 812-305-8476, 812-305-8476. Last night, the 8th District of the Indiana Broadcasters Association held their annual IBA Cardinal Community Service Awards ceremony. Broadcasters from across the state of Indiana gathered to celebrate the charitable doings of different radio and television stations across the area in the 9th District and the 8th District as well, and the good they do for the communities they serve. Among the recipients of the IBA Cardinal Service Awards were 18 WJTS TV, 100.9 FM WBDC, and 103.3 The Fix WAXL, as well as our sister stations in Madison, Indiana, WORX and WXGO. 18 WJTS TV was recognized for our work with Monday with the Mayor. Monday with the Mayor highlights what's going on behind the scenes of cities and towns in the area by talking with mayors, town managers, and others to show that the people in office are doing what they're doing to make the areas they are living in great. 100.9 FM WBDC was recognized for our work with the Petersburg Polar Plunge. The Petersburg Polar Plunge helped raise over $43,000 for the Special Olympics of Indiana. And 100.9 FM WBDC helped raise awareness of the event by playing music at the event, doing a live broadcast from the event, reporting on it in their news broadcast, and giving airtime for interviews and PSAs for the event. 103.3 The Fix WAXL was recognized for its work with the American Cancer Society and the Spencer County Relay for Life. The Spencer County Relay for Life is a way to raise awareness and remember those who have fought, survived, or lost their fight against cancer. And 103.3 The Fix WAXL helped raise awareness for the event by giving airtime and PSAs for the event and broadcasting on air and on social media at the event. The IBA recognizes more than 70 member TV and radio stations with 2019 Cardinal Community Service Awards. Every day, Hoosier broadcasters make an impact in the communities they serve through stories, fundraisers, and emergency alerts. Jasper Engines and Transmissions are bringing work to Texas, or taking work there. It was announced yesterday that Jasper Engines and Transmissions will open a new location in Lubbock, Texas. Their new 9,375 square foot facility will have diesel, air, and fuel components. The new facility will have capacity for up to 650 units. That includes gas and diesel engines, transmissions, and differentials. Jasper Engines and Transmissions currently has 48 branch offices and distribution centers across 28 states. The Princeton Toyota plant is set to hire 400 new employees. The plan for the new hires would be to build 40,000 new Toyota Highlanders. President of Toyota in Indiana, Millie Marshall, says that it is important to hire where the plant is stationed. However, they also have those who are willing to move to Indiana so they can work. Marshall says that the work environment at the Princeton plant is clean and employee morale is high. A boil advisory remains in effect for those located on State Road 64 between County Road 400 West and Skyline Drive in Huntingburg. Customers will be notified once the advisory is lifted. Before cooking or drinking water, customers must boil it vigorously for 3 minutes. Do not use ice from household ice makers. If washing dishes, let clean tap water that contains 1 teaspoon of unscented household bleach per gallon sit for 1 minute before using. Customers are asked to use caution when doing laundry during this time. Water for hand washing and bathing does not usually require boiling. Kimball Electronics manufacturing facility in Jasper has a new accreditation. Metacred, Printed Circuit Board Assemblies, or PCBA accreditation, recognizes the manufacturing facility for their ongoing commitment to improving their medical device quality requirements and industry specifications in the medical market. To this day, there's only 5 other companies in the country who have obtained the Metacred accreditation for PCBAs. Congratulations to Kimball Electronics. Strassenfest has long been over. However, if you're still feeling that German pride run through your veins, the city of Jasper and Jackie's Travel is planning a trip to Jasper's sister city, Pfaffenweiler. This trip is to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the partnership between Pfaffenweiler and Jasper. The trip will take place from June 19th to June 30th of 2020. This trip includes multiple nights in London, multiple nights in Paris, a visit to Normandy where one can see the World War II fighting grounds, as well as a visit to Pfaffenweiler area. This trip includes motor coaches to and from U.S. airports, air transfers to London, and return to the U.S. motor coach and train travel across Europe. 10 nights of lodging, 6 breakfast meals, 1 dinner meal, admission to various venues, as well as professional tours of London and Paris. For more information or to reserve your spot on this Pfaffenweiler trip, contact Jackie's Travel at 812-482-7158, 482-7158. Purdue Extension Davies County is hosting a series of Parents' Night Out classes this September. Parents' Night Out is a series of 3 classes on Tuesdays at Washington Catholic High School, where parents will discuss topics such as solving conflict, helping a child become a better student, dealing with bad influences, and obeying and speaking respectfully. Parents will also learn how to communicate with their children, gain their cooperation, develop self-esteem, as well as encourage responsibility. Parenting styles will also be discussed, such as dictatorial, permissive, and active. These Parents' Nights Out series will be September 10th, 17th, and 24th at Washington Catholic High School. To register for these free classes, call 812-254-8668, 254-8668. An agriculture economist is projecting a nearly 20% drop in revenue for Indiana's corn and soybean crops this year. That prediction from Purdue University professor Chris Hurt comes after Indiana farmers faced several weeks of planting delays because of persistent spring rainfalls, followed by a long summer dry spell. Hurt says those troubles and the ongoing U.S. trade fight with China could lead to a $1.3 billion revenue drop for Indiana's corn and soybean crops from last year's $6.8 billion. Purdue agricultural experts spoke Monday during a program at the Indiana State Fair. They said the state's farmers face a risk that late planted corn and soybeans won't mature before the fall freeze. Indiana officials are asking healthcare providers to report any young patients with a history of vaping who unexpectedly developed severe respiratory illnesses. The Indiana State Department of Health sent an advisory last week to Indiana hospitals and other healthcare providers after the states of Illinois and Wisconsin reported that numerous teenagers and young adults were hospitalized with severe respiratory illnesses. Those patients reported using e-cigarettes in the weeks and months prior to their illness. The young patients experienced symptoms that included shortness of breath, fatigue, and chest pain, and some became so ill they needed mechanical ventilation. Although no cases have been reported in Indiana, the State Department of Health is urging medical providers to report any such cases to local county health departments as soon as possible. That has been a look at the WJTS News. Stay tuned. Zach Gruber pays his weekly visit to the DuBois County Humane Society. Then it's your local outlook and weather forecast on 18 WJTS. Local people watching local people.